Hi guys, Rachybop here. Today I want to talk to you about The Sims 3 Supernatural and seasons. I wasn't meant to be talking about seasons this week, but yesterday EA did a live chat and it was supposed to be just about Sims 3 Supernatural, but it was actually about the Supernatural and seasons. I'll put a link to the live chat in the description so you can go and watch it if you want to, the rerun, but I'll be covering all the information that they talked about in the live chat and a little bit more. They did say that specific live shows are coming, so they are going to do just a specific Supernatural live show and Seasons live show, probably more than one. So let's start with the Supernatural expansion pack. This will be the first one to come out. It comes out in September. And yesterday they focused on zombies and fairies, well mainly fairies, but you're going to be able to have vampires, witches, werewolves, fairies, zombies and ghosts. There's a new world, Moonlight Falls. For those of you who watched my previous Supernatural video, you will know about all this. Go watch that if you haven't watched it, it's got a lot more info in there as well. There's lunar cycles, which you can control yourself, so you can make a full moon every night if you want to. You don't have to play as a Supernatural, you can play as your normal sim and still get a lot of the effects. Like, you can still play with alchemy. They don't want it to just focus on Supernatural, they like the mix of it, because they've noticed like a lot of movies that are coming out recently are about the mixture of real life with the supernatural, example Twilight. So their fairy that they showed had pink wings, and when she went into sprite form she was a pink blob. I couldn't quite see if there was actually a fairy in there, if it was just a bright blob, because we weren't like in the game that close, but it was a pink blob. And then when she was in her full form she had pink wings. So the colour of your fairy's wings determine the colour of the sprite form fairy. There was a really cool mini tree house, which is the fairy house that your fairies can live in. So when they go into sprite form they can go in there and they can all live in there and they can do anything in there. Fairies have specific activities and obviously they have certain strengths with their supernatural. They can be anything from a fairy godmother to being really mischievous, or a mixture of the two. They like to play pranks and they also like to grant people's wishes. So they kind of showed us the day in the life of a sim fairy. One thing that they could do that was quite cool was they could fix things around the house, but when they did it they would go into their smaller farm and like plunge the toilet or fix the stove, fix the fridge, and they did it a lot quicker and better than a normal sim would. Fairies are gardeners, apparently. They have a love for nature and they will progress quicker through tending to your garden. They also like to talk to the plants and they can help them grow. There is a new interaction for the fairies to the plants, which is bloom, and that makes the plants grow a little bit quicker. There were fairy toddlers. Some people have been asking me about that, if they can have toddler supernaturals. You can have toddler supernaturals, and they can also live in the fairy house, and then they can fly out and become real size sim fairy toddlers. And they were sort of hovering every now and again, which was quite cool. Fairies can pester people. They showed the fairy pestering a werewolf in this demo. Selected that interaction and the fairy would go into the sprite farm and sort of buzz around the werewolf. She also played a trick on the werewolf which removed his clothes. You can plant traps on things. They showed her planting a trap on the mailbox, and then when the werewolf went to open the mailbox and catch his mail, he got attacked by a swarm of bees. There was a lot of magical dust. You could see when she booby-trapped the mailbox it was pulsating. It also had fairy dust around it, so not just like in Generations when you could booby-trap things, you can now see fairy dust, so you'll know if it's your fairy that's done it or one of your teenagers. There is another special interaction, I think it was called Flight of Felicity, and this is when a fairy can give another sim the gift of flight. How that will look, I don't know, if it will have wings or if it'll be like in Peter Pan with the fairy dust and think magical happy thoughts and you'll fly, I don't know. The fairy also played tag with the werewolf, and when they did that they went into their sprite form as well. They then used the zombification elixir to turn the fairy into a zombie. It wasn't a full zombie, it was a zombie fairy. It kept its wings, it walked like a zombie. Then they showed us the pea shooter that comes with the limited edition game, which you can get if you pre-order. And this pea shooter sat on the front of the Sims lawn, bobbing around, and when the zombie fairy approached it, it started shooting peas. Now unfortunately in this demo it failed in its mission and the zombie reached it and grabbed it and it won. But apparently that is a very rare occurrence, and usually the pea shooter will protect your home. When they turned the fairy into the zombie, it like rose from the dead. It was really cool, and the way she walked was really cool, but they're really, really slow, obviously, I suppose. One of the new jobs with this expansion pack is fortune teller, and if you want to join this career, there is a caravan within the world and you can select that to either go and have your fortune told or to go and join that career. And this career is quite cool because when you get to a certain level you can choose a branch. One branch is to be a fully fledged fortune teller with real psychic abilities, and the other one is to be a faker, a scammer, just telling people what they want to hear and taking their money. If you're a werewolf or a zombie or whatever you are, whichever supernatural you are, that won't affect what job you can get. You can be a werewolf and be a policeman or whatever, you can be a zombie stylist, you can do whatever you want, you're not restricted in that way. Some of the elixirs that they mentioned were Job Boost Elixir and a Vampire Sunscreen Elixir, which will allow your vampire to go out in the sun and be unharmed, and it will also make their skin very sparkly. Alchemy is a 10 level skill, and to start alchemy you just need to get the alchemist table. Werewolves can hunt for collectibles, and they also have a certain skill that allows them to turn one collectible into another. If you've got a collection, you can, and you get a double item, you can transform one of them into something that you actually need or want. Apparently you can turn any sim into a supernatural through the game, and you can turn them back if you didn't like it. This game's all about experimentation. Zombies will attack your sims. They like brains and grains, so they're going to attack your sims to eat their brains, and they're going to attack your gardens to eat your grains. So they recommended that if you do have a garden, you want to put a fence around it because zombies don't like fences, apparently. There will be a cure elixir which will cure you from being a zombie, and being a zombie is temporary if you are bitten by another zombie. They did mention that there is another way to create permanent zombies, but they didn't say how. And one of the deaths that one of the ladies who was on the live show said is the coolest is the jelly bean death. That this death is something to do with the jelly bean bush, and it creates the most beautiful death. You can have male fairies, female werewolves, that none of it's restricted by your gender. Fairies will also always have their wings out, they never hide their wings. Zombies will not turn back to normal during the day. Some people will be zombified during the full moon, even if they haven't been bitten or they haven't been turned into a zombie. They may just randomly turn into a zombie during the full moon. Zombies cannot have babies. There's a new lifetime happiness reward for vampires, which is immortality. You can have a full family of different supernaturals, and you can make, for example, a werewolf and a fairy have a baby, but it won't come out as a combination, it will be one or the other, and they did say it was a 50-50 chance. I don't know whether maybe when the Prima Guide comes out it might tell you if you eat certain things or do certain things while you're pregnant. you can maybe increase the chances of having one or the other, like you can with male or female babies in the base game. All babies can be supernatural, and in CAS, Create a Sim, you can create any supernatural from a toddler to an elder. Someone asked what makes a fairy walk versus fly, and they did say that it's mainly, instead of running, that's when they'll fly, or if they get bored they might suddenly do a little flip in the air. Someone asked if the pea shooter will kill your zombie or your zombie fairy or whatever it is, and no, it doesn't kill, but it will knock them out, and then when they come back round they will feel reformed and not want to attack anymore. How long that lasts, I don't know. So the little mini tree house, the fairy house, is fully functional. You can do everything in there. You can cook, eat, sleep, woohoo, anything you can in a normal sim house. Other sims will come by and peek in the fairy house, so be careful what you're doing in there. I'm going to put a link anyway in the description to the live chat, to all the pre-order information, and you also might want to check out simsvip.com. They have so much information on there, screenshots, links, just everything. So I'll put the link to that website in the description as well. Go check it out because the screenshots on there, everything are epic. Now onto the Sims 3 Seasons and a little bit of info about that. So this is released in November, and this is the most anticipated expansion pack for The Sims. Everybody wants Sims 3 Seasons. They're still developing it, but they did have enough to show us. You get all seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, all there, or fall, whatever you guys call autumn. Each season comes with festivals and dramatic weather. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out, the link's in the description, and watch it carefully and you'll notice. Watch it carefully, watch it a few times, and you'll see so much stuff in there that you'll realise will be included in the game. They showed a sim snowboarding on a half pipe. That will be a skill. They will have special celebrations to go with the seasons and heaps of new interactions. They can play horseshoes. I'd never heard of horseshoes until I went to San Diego, but I've still never played. But now I can in the Sims 3 Seasons. There was a kissing booth. This came with spring. They mainly showed spring yesterday in the live chat. There was a spring fling. You could slow dance. They brought that back. You can bob for apples. They showed us the snow and the rain. Awesome. You can have snowball fights. There's also aliens included in this pack. One of the families that they showed us was the Weatherwax family. They liked the outdoors. They were dressed in outdoors gear. There was lots of new outfits. There was also, one of them was also fully bald. This is the first time we're ever going to be able to have a fully bald sim. When we first went into the demo, it looked a little bit foggy, and then came dramatic rainstorms. There were puddles which you could play in, thunder, lightning. I noticed that when the Sims went outside, they put up an umbrella automatically. They showed the family going to Central Park. This was in Sunset Valley, which was converted depending on the season. So this was spring, it was raining. Now they wanted to show us it in the sunshine. So one of the Sims had what was called a Climatron control unit. You can save up for this with your lifetime happiness rewards. She placed it on a community lot. It looked like it could be placed anywhere as long as there was enough space. And she set the weather to sunny, and it was very cool. It came up with two screens and then a big thing point to the sky and changed the weather. And it gradually became sunny. You can moonlight in this game as a kissing booth attendant and earn a little bit extra cash. There was also love testing machines, which will boost your relationship if you get a good result. When they were at the kissing booth, the sim would blow kisses to attract a customer, and then the customer would come up and kiss the kissing booth attendant. They also had someone at the Spring Festival playing horseshoes, and that is a skill you can get better at, and you can also get better at horseshoes the more you play. I think it's a skill, but I think it's a hidden skill. It didn't show a meter above his head. Ooh, Flumbob. So it's like when you play pool, you just get better. The child was hunting for eggs. I don't know if this is just for children or if anyone can hunt for eggs, but it's something you can do every day of spring, and they advise that you get there early because eggs can go if other Sims get there first. And in these eggs you can find things like festival tickets, rewards, and general surprises. There was also new food at the fair festival. Marshmallow pie, there's a freezer bunny treat, there's also grasshopper pie. There's new activities that come with each season. There's a pie eating contest, but that's not in spring. I'm not sure what season that comes with. If you leave out the Climatron control unit, other Sims can use it, so beware of that. They showed us the Ice Lounge, which is part of the limited edition content if you pre-order the game. You can place this in any world. It's a multi-level community lot. Festivals within your park will last the entire season and will end with a holiday. For example, spring will end with Love Day. The community lot automatically changes depending on the season, and it will work in all worlds. There are different grades of rain, so each weather level is gradual. So when it starts, it might just be a light drizzle, and then it will progress into an extremely heavy downpour. And that's all the info I got from the live chat. I'll be doing other informational videos about The Sims 3 Supernatural and The Sims 3 Seasons on Sims Saturday in the upcoming weeks before the games are released. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. If you know any info, let us know in the comments. If you're specifically excited about any of these packs, also let me know in the comments. Also, let me know which one you are more excited for now. This is a very rare occurrence that we know of 2 expansion packs coming out. So, Supernatural or Seasons, just write that in the comments. Supernatural or Seasons. And if you're looking forward to both, just put Super Seasons. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like this video and share it with your friends and enemies. I hope you've enjoyed this and that I've given you some information that you may or may not have known. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!